He said I'm not worth mentioning, but can Frank Martin sell 10,000 tickets? Can Lamont Roach sell 10,000 tickets? A lot of these people got something to say, but let's fight. I'm a B word though. Nigga, let's fight.
So after Keyshawn Davis knocked out Lemos in a devastating fashion along with majority of his critics, he savagely called out Gervonta. He wants to fight Gervonta before his bro, Shakur. In the meantime, the one everyone been calling out from Devin Haney, Shakur, and not even Keyshawn, the new school, Gervonta actually gave his reaction to Keyshawn knocking out Lemos. He posted painting his nails emoji on Twitter. However, afterwards, Gervonta deactivated his Twitter along with his Instagram and all of his social media. I'm not sure if Tank is feeling the pressure from the fans after Keyshawn called him out. Either way, without a doubt, Keyshawn made a statement inside of the ring with his performance and outside of the ring with his ticket sales. Keyshawn at 11-0, he's already a star. He has a star drawing power. I mean, how many fighters do you guys know that can sell a fight on their own? Sell more than 10,000 tickets by themselves by carrying the entire card. How many fighters can do that? Well, Keyshawn just did. So put him on the list. That's a very short list, which is why Keyshawn is already saying, I want to fight Tank for disrespecting me, but I don't need to fight Tank. I'm going to be a star with him or without him. This is why Keyshawn is saying that. One thing for sure and two things for certain. Keyshawn has the talent and he also has the it factor. He has a personality to become a superstar. You see, a lot of fighters have talent, but only few fighters who have talent and the it factor, a personality that can make him a superstar. Fighting is the main thing, but that only can get you so far if you don't have a personality. But if you have a personality with a little bit of talent, you can go pretty far, let alone if you have a lot of talent like Keyshawn does. Even Gervonta Tank Davis, he has been showing his personality more so than before, and it's been entertaining to watch Tank growth. Either way, Kenny Ellis, Gervonta trainer, he responded to Keyshawn calling Gervonta out to fight, where he said, quote, with just 5 professional fights, lightweight boxer Andy Cruz is ranked in all the section and bodies. He's great. Knock, knock, knock. He beat you 4 times. Keyshawn Davis. Even when he loses against Gervonta Davis, Keyshawn know it will be his biggest payday. So he's trying to steer everyone away from talking about him fighting Andy Cruz, because he knows Andy Cruz will blow his shot at Gervonta Davis just like he blew his shot at the Olympic gold. The casual fans don't know what's really going on. I hope the people of Newark, Virginia ain't falling for this trickery. Laughing emoji. I'm sure the real men of Newark want Keyshawn to get that smoke back. 1984 Olympic gold medalist Mark Breland, he lost in the amateurs to Anthony. However, he avenged that loss in the pros by knocking him out, because that's what fighters do. So Kenny Ellis, Gervonta trainer, is telling Keyshawn Davis to do the same thing Breland did. Well, listen, let's dissect this. There's a whole lot of deflection going on, but I do agree with Kenny Ellis. Of course, Keyshawn has to avenge his losses in the amateurs to Andy Cruz. It was disrespectful how Andy Cruz beat him 4 times to none in the amateurs and in important fights like the Olympics. That being said, first of all, Keyshawn Davis actually sent an offer to Andy Cruz to fight instead of Lemos. He also sent Morataya an offer. He also sent Kid Austin an offer, and they all turned down the fight. So, if Kenny Ellis is going to use someone to deflect, he should use someone that wants to fight instead of someone that is not ready to fight Keyshawn yet. Andy Cruz already turned down the Keyshawn fight. He turned down the offer to fight Keyshawn. So if he's not ready, why bring up someone that is not ready to fight Keyshawn as a deflection? Second of all, if we all being real, Andy Cruz will most likely beat Gervonta in the amateurs as well. There's no secret. The Cubans mastered the amateur style, the Olympic style, which is being perfect for 3 rounds. Gervonta is notoriously known for being a slow starter. If he fought Andy Cruz in the amateurs, he probably would have had end up losing 10 times out of 10 to Andy Cruz. Andy Cruz, just like the rest of the Cuban fighters, he mastered being perfect inside of that ring for 3 rounds. So I don't see Gervonta being able to knock him out or beat him in the amateurs. However, the pros is a completely different story. The pros and the amateurs are completely different sports because of the fast pace, because of the short rounds, because you have to do everything on the fly, and you don't have the luxury to break your opponent down. By the time you just finished studying your opponent moves, the fight is up, time is up, the fight is over, and you already lost. Therefore, leading up to the fight, before the fight, you better have all of your moves ready for that 3 rounds to be perfect, offensively and defensively, and that's what the Cubans have mastered. On the other hand, the Americans mastered the professional style in the sport of boxing, more specifically, the Black American fighters. Therefore, it's funny that Kenny Ellis is deflecting by using Andy Cruz, even though Andy Cruz already let it be known he's not ready to fight Keyshawn yet. Additionally, he bragging about Keyshawn losing to Andy Cruz in the amateurs when we all know if Gervonta fought Andy Cruz in the amateurs, most likely he would have had lost as well. This is factually speaking. If you ask Kenny Ellis who would win in the amateurs, in the Olympics, Gervonta or Andy Cruz, he will most likely say Andy Cruz, if he's being honest. Last but not least, Keyshawn Davis revealed that Kenny Ellis told him to leave the 135-pound division alone and move up to 140. And Gilly had to step in like, wait a minute, why will Key do that when we want to see Davis versus Davis? Tank versus Keyshawn. Keyshawn followed up by saying that the whole team is terrified of him, and that's why they want him to move up to 140 so he can leave Tank alone. And the way Kenny Ellis is talking right now, he's not saying let's fight. Tank will knock you out. All he's saying is, look, man, we don't want to fight. How about you fight Andy Cruz, who's not ready to fight either? Which doesn't make a whole lot of sense, or any sense. Listen, at the moment in time, if I'm being honest, the walls are closing in on Gervonta. He missed out on the Lomachenko opportunity. He allowed Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney to snatch that away from him. Then he missed out on the Devin Haney fight in the lightweight division when Devin was undisputed. He's also missing out on Shakur. He could have had fought Shakur instead of Lomachenko this year when Shakur became a free agent, but he didn't. Now he already has the new Bucks. I won't say the young Bucks because Devin Haney, I believe he's younger than Keyshawn actually. Due to Devin Haney's accomplishments, a lot of people think he's older than what he actually is, even though he's the youngest out of the bunch. He's younger than Gervonta, he's younger than Teofimo Lopez, he's younger than Shakur, he's younger than Keyshawn, he's younger than Ryan, he's even younger than Shushu, I believe. The point I'm making is that forget about the older fighters and forget about the fighters that are younger than Tank, like Shakur and Devin Haney. Now you even have Keyshawn, the new school fighters, calling Gervonta out to fight before Gervonta has even yet to fight Devin Haney and Shakur. This is how long it has been, and Gervonta has yet to fight his rivals outside of Ryan Garcia. I remember a few years back, someone asked Tank about Devin and Shakur calling him out, and he was bragging about how they just came in the game. I've been here, done that. Well, it's not a good look that you've been here, done that. However, you have yet to fight the guys who you were supposed to fight. And I'm referring to Tank own rivals to the point where Gervonta has new rivals added to the list, aka Keyshawn Davis, and he have yet to fight the older rivals, aka Lomachenko, who no longer wants to fight him now. And that's why I said Gervonta be missing out on opportunities due to a business model that doesn't even make sense to me. How you going to miss out on an opportunity and call that smart business? This is the reason why Gervonta is not in consideration at the moment in time to be pound for pound number one. Even though Tank has pound for pound number one type of talent, unless, like Keyshawn said, Gervonta is hiding something to the public that we don't know about. At the end of the day, the answer is clearly not, oh, Gervonta been making money though on his own. Because let's be real, Gervonta could have had made way more money fighting Devin Haney and Shakur by now. These are facts that are not up for debate. For example, let me ask you guys a question. What's a bigger fight that will make Gervonta more money? Gervonta versus Lamont Roach or Gervonta versus Keyshawn Davis? We don't even have to use Shakur and Devin Haney names. Let's just go with Keyshawn, who just sold over 10,000 tickets on his own, generating over $1 million in revenue alone with the ticket sales. We all know Lamont Roach ain't doing that. He can't do that, and he never did that. Respectfully, I'm just speaking facts. Even Frank Martin, Gervonta past opponent, he never did that. And majority of Gervonta opponents never did anything like that, which is the point I'm making. It's not far out of reach to consider Keyshawn Davis as a legit opponent for Gervonta Davis. Let's be real. Keyshawn will generate more money. More importantly, Keyshawn's next fight is going to be for a title shot for the WBO title. If he becomes a champion, then no one can deny him, including Gervonta, because now that's a champion in your own division that's making a whole lot of money and generating buzz, who's calling you out. After all, Tank said he wants to become undisputed at lightweight now. So let's hope Tank doesn't change his mind after Keyshawn becomes a champion. In order for Tank to become undisputed at lightweight, since he didn't want to fight Devin Haney for that, now he has to go through Shakur, Lomachenko, and Keyshawn, which is something that's possible for Gervonta to do, however, is also risky, which is the elephant in the room. You see, it's not about, oh, Keyshawn ain't did this, he ain't do that, he can't sell. These are the criteria you have to meet to fight Tank. No, that's not how it works. Because the criteria to fighting Gervonta is the risk factor. That plays a major role. You see, Frank Martin doesn't have to meet these criteria that Shakur and Devin Haney have to meet in order to fight Gervonta. Lamont Roach doesn't have to do that, but Keyshawn does. Why? Because Keyshawn brings a risk factor of beating Gervonta. That's why Keyshawn Davis is not an option for Gervonta, even though he brings more to the table than a Frank Martin does. It's all about the risk and the reward. The risk is really high for Gervonta against Devin, Shakur, and Keyshawn. And even though the reward is even higher than all of Gervonta Tank Davis' opponents, however, the risk is still too high for Gervonta to reach for that type of reward. The risk is higher than the reward in his mind. The risk is at a level where I call getting beat, which is worth more than any reward to Gervonta. And that's why he haven't fought those guys. With that being said, I believe Keyshawn is going to end up fighting Andy Cruz before he's able to fight Gervonta, because he's not going to be able to skip the line. Not with Tank, especially with Shakur and Devin Haney being in front of him, which is fair at the end of the day. Shakur versus Tank makes more sense, and Keyshawn versus Andy Cruz makes a whole lot of sense. We shall see where they go from there. I just know Kenny Ellis is not breaking down the flaws he sees in Keyshawn the way he does to all of Tank's other opponents. Instead, he's just making excuses by deflecting the same way he did when Devin Haney was calling out Gervonta to fight, which tells you how impressed he is with Keyshawn Whether he likes to admit it or not, after all, he was telling Keyshawn to move up to 140 for a reason. That being said, go ahead and drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe below. And to be continued on the next episode of Akhi TV. Peace out. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
And I'm just in a blessed situation that God put me in, that I literally have control of my own career. You heard it for yourself. Todd the Buff told y'all, I said, no, I don't want to fight him. I want to fight Lemos. And what happened? I'm fighting Lemos. You know what I'm saying? I got control of my own career. I said, send a contract to Kid Austin, send a contract to Andy Cruz, and send a contract to Raymond Mortaya. Raymond Mortaya with the bigger fights. He wants Shakur Stevens and all of them.
Hold on, you said that contract
Andy Cruz and them said, no, they not ready. Kid Austin and them said, Keyshawn, go fuck off. We'll never fight you. They in the WBA, they trying to fight Gervonta. So everybody in their own little lane, you know what I'm saying? They don't want to fight the businessman yet.